What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of One for Safety, your podcast where indie filmmakers come together and talk about all things entertainment. My name is Moses, and with me today are always Alexander L. Dunn.
Hello.
Phillip Arroyo Long.
What up, what up?
And, of course, Leatrice Ching.
Hello.
How you guys doing today?
Good.
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Not bad.
Yeah.
Well, today we're going to be talking about the new Disney Plus and MCU exclusive TV series, Wandavision. I know last week it was an obsession for Alex and Leatrice. And, once you guys started saying that, I started watching it. And I know, Phillip, you started watching it too.
I started watching it too.
Yeah.
Trucked right through it.
Yeah, so you know what? It's like super hot right now. It's super trending right now. So I thought, you know what? Why don't we talk about it this week? The series isn't over yet, so we will be spoiling some things up until episode 6, I believe. I think the new episode comes out on Friday. I think that's right.
It's Fridays?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Friday.
I think so. I think it's Fridays.
Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so be warned. If you're listening right now, we will be talking about everything that happened up until episode 6, or I guess episode 7, really, because we haven't seen that. But yeah. But before we dive on in, Alex, what are you having?
Okay, so this week we decided to do our Total Wine excursion, and Leatrice had chosen for me a Firestone Walker. Call back to last week about talking about Firestone Walker. And this is the bottle. It was I can't even see it. It's a vintage 2020. Because apparently if you're not in the year anymore, it's considered vintage. So
Very regal.
it was actually really intense when I opened it up. It was like in a little box that was really nice. And then it came with this thing inside. Mm-hmm. This literally was inside. It's
it's a
fucking
scroll.
manifesto.
there was a scroll. I have not read it yet.
That's extra as
I have
hell.
not read it yet. But I think it talks about other brands. I haven't got to it yet.
It's like other brands.
read a
Sorry,
little
fuck
sorry. I
up.
mean, other brands. I think of their
ye.
own brand. Other beers of their brand, I should say. Sorry.
Okay.
Fuck all the other brands. But I haven't got to it yet. But
That's a one-liner. That doesn't need a whole scroll.
yeah, dude. No. There was another thing that it told me that I should pour it into a glass and let it get warm. So I don't know if it's gonna be warm. But this is first taste. So
I don't understand. I don't understand the appeal of drinking room temperature beer or warm beer. I've just never enjoyed it. But I'm sorry,
Supposedly,
Alex.
it's
I didn't
supposed
know
to-
that when I chose that for you.
it's okay.
I
It's
hope it
cold.
tastes
It's cold as shit. I didn't know that when I put it in the freezer and then read that after, and I was like, well,
Well, supposedly the rumor has it that warm beer fucks you up faster.
Oh, is that
is
why?
that true? I don't. Okay.
All right,
Well,
it's
bye,
a
Alex.
It's like a 13.
It's a rumor, yeah.
How much faster are we
It's
talking
it's
here?
a high alcohol content beer. 11 point something.
11.3. So
Science.
it's pretty hefty for it's
11.3%.
barrel aged. All right, here we go.
All right, here we go. First test. First taste.
Ooh. I don't know what. It's really thick. It's kind of not that thick, but it's thick.
Is it too vintage?
Yeah, it's pretty vintage. It tastes like 2020, which means not good.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm telling you, we got to stop doing first taste live.
I know.
We're going to get
I know.
sued.
Like Firestone.
No, we're not.
No, I'm saying it's good. Yeah, I know.
This is nice because there will be one day where there will be a beer that just impresses one of us, and we'll just have like an instant happy reaction, and that's the one that matters.
Yeah, like
That's
that one last.
everyone should go try.
That brewery one that.
It's Bud
I
Light
know.
with lime.
Oh, no.
Can you imagine?
Instant worse. Instant bad.
Well, that sour I had a few weeks back was really good. That was like instant. Like that shit's good. This one's pretty good though. It's actually that second taste is pretty good. First taste was a little like getting used to it. Second taste is good. So I'll let you know by the end. You'll see if I get pretty toasty or not.
Your beer should get pretty toasty.
Yeah, it's still pretty cold though. We'll see. So Phillip, I think this time you actually are drinking something that's not water.
Yeah.
I am, but don't get too excited because it's not the one that I hyped up last week. That will be coming next week. I promise you. I swear to God.
You heard it here first, folks.
Surprise bear.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
But it's not going to happen tonight because, like I said, my life is still a complete mess. And I left it at my girlfriend's house. So it is successfully out of the car. but it's now in her room.
It's
So,
traveled 15 feet from the car to the house.
Yeah.
Slowly
So
making its way back.
I'm going with a Modelo
Okay.
Negro.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Classic.
It's a standard. It's good. It's tasty.
Mm.
Classic. I do like the Negro Modelos better than the regular
Oh, wow.
Modelos.
That's a good one.
Mm.
That's a good beer.
Is that your first?
That's a good cerveza.
Is that your first time trying it? I couldn't tell if that was like first taste ever or.
No, I just don't like shitting on the beer. stuff
I didn't
bring
shit
the
on it.
show.
I was just saying it was
We don't
interesting.
shit on it. We're just giving it an honest reaction, which is, it
An
is
honest
something.
react, yeah.
No, yeah, this is not my first time having a Modelo.
You did kind of shit on the mint condition though on live. On
Well, I shit on.
the
I
air,
don't
not live.
shit on them. I just don't react, positively.
Okay. Fair.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah, like
Negative
IPAs.
reacts only.
It's just less than lukewarm.
I like the euphemism there. That's a good one.
Yeah. Okay.
So Phillip, you gonna
Oh.
pick someone?
Oh yeah, I guess
That's
is.
it.
No.
Then
No, I'm
that's
just kidding. Leatrice, what do you have?
Man, that was quiet for a long time. Someone cut that shit out.
that was weird.
Okay, anyways. Yeah.
Leave it in.
All right.
Do you guys not like the awkward
No, we
pauses
should leave
in
it
the
in.
show? I love
It's
awkward
kinda good,
pauses.
It's good. It's good if there's video, but if there's like, if it's just audio, it just kind of feels weird.
We should let the audience decide. If you're listening, if you like awkward pauses, let us know. Anyways,
Hit us up
Leatrice,
in the
go for it.
Discord.
Hit us up
Plug,
in the
plug,
Discord.
plug, plug, plug.
And that's our show
Yeah.
for today, guys. We'll see you later.
Yeah.
All right, anyways, Leatrice, what do you have?
Okay, so I'm drinking a beer that Moses chose for me, and it is
did.
a limited series, as is everything we get, because we only ever visit that section, and it's
Bougie.
the MKSD. Is this an actual? Oh, McKellar Brewing in San Diego.
Oh, I didn't see you got that one. I thought you did the fruit one. Oh yeah, that one's bomb.
I did, but yeah. You've already had this one.
Yeah, it's good. Well, I mean, maybe
okay,
you won't
well.
like it. I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
It's gonna
Gonna
taste.
do
It's gonna
live
taste like vinegar to you or something. First it was soy sauce,
Just
and then it's
being
gonna
honest.
be vinegar.
God.
That's gonna be balsamic
Soy
vinegar
sauce.
one day.
Vinaigrettes. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, here
Hey,
we go.
it's kind of pink.
Is it pink? It'd be blue.
Yeah, or like red.
Oh.
Pink. Yeah,
about that?
it's pink. It's like a sparkling rosé.
It's actually
Okay.
it's actually just Mountain Dew code red.
Dude, I bought a Mountain Dew
Alright,
today
alright.
that had no sugar in it. I haven't had it yet. I'm curious how good it is.
Gross.
That doesn't.
I know.
That's not real.
That whole sentence was just gross. Everything about
Sorry, Leatrice. Sorry.
No.
That whole sentence
It
was
was
fake
not. I have it.
news.
It's in my fridge right now. Sorry.
it. First test.
Go for it.
One drink.
Do it.
Ah, this one's good.
All right. There we go.
Ah,
There
Wait,
we
it
go.
kind of
Leatrice.
tastes like sourdough bread.
Whoa.
I think something's wrong.
Okay.
I think something's
Okay.
wrong with your palate. Like,
Yeah, it's COVID free.
You had COVID recently?
No.
Sourdough. That's a new one. Put it on the list of Leatrice taste.
yes. Leatricisms.
Dude, it's made from all types of there's wheat, there's barley, there's rye, of course it could be like a really hefty country loaf. Tastes like it.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you like it because I know you don't like the IPA. So
I told you I'm going to keep trying them, and there'll be a day
Yeah.
where my mouth just decides to be like, it's not terrible.
it'll happen.
Yeah, wait till I have to pick a beer for you
Anyways.
because I'm gonna pick like the gnarliest like IPA. I'm just gonna be like, here you
no.
go, have fun.
I enjoy those because
Yeah.
I like to go in the extremes when tasting.
yeah, for
But
sure.
anyways, Moses, what are you having?
So Alex picked this one for me. It is a Hop Slam Ale double IPA from Bell's Brewery. And I opened it earlier, but I have not tasted it yet. So here's the bottle. Nice green, very hoppy look.
He's
to
been
it,
he's been
so
pinned by
nice.
some
Looks
hops.
like Harry Potter.
Hop slam.
I am. Here we go. Oh, that's good. I like that.
Did it slam you with hops?
I would hope it was based on that rating.
Yeah.
I can taste it in the aftertaste. Oh yeah.
It's up in your nostrils.
Sits on the tip of the tongue still. Yeah, and in the nostrils.
Still in your toes.
I like it. That was a good one. I have another swig. There we go. Yeah, still just as good.
Nice.
That you see, that was an awkward pause.
Three
That was a
for
good
three.
awkward pause though.
Well, 3 of 4.
No, mine's good. 4 of 4. You can say 4 of 4.
Well, now that we all discussed what we're drinking, it's time for weekly obsessions. Let's start with Phillip. Phillip, what do you got going on?
Oh, what have I got going on?
Yeah.
I got all kinds of shit going on.
Is your obsession this week changing the way you look? 'Cause wow,
Oh,
you look great.
yeah, a radical transformation actually.
Yeah.
No, my weekly obsession, I think I'm going to have to go with Dune Messiah.
Book 2?
It's the second book in the
book,
Dune
right?
series.
Yes.
And it's a fun time. I'm about halfway through it. It's not as good as the first one, but also the first one is like a masterpiece, so apples to oranges in a way. But I think one of the things that I enjoy about it is that it's markedly different from the first book. Like there's like a real believable shift in the things that are happening in the story based on like where Dune left it. And it's like not more of Dune. It's a sequel to Dune, introducing like new things, new mechanics of the world and
That's cool.
stuff. So, yeah, it's been a fun time.
Are there any pictures?
There's a picture of
Oh, look
Frank
at that guy.
Herbert.
Damn, what a beard, dude.
Oh, wow.
Look at that guy.
That's
Look at that
fucking great.
beard though.
Yeah, that's
That beard game
that's
is
like classic
yeah.
beard look. Like
Yeah.
when you think distinguished gentleman with a beard,
Yeah.
like that's what it looks like.
There are also pictures of the other Dune books.
Oh shit.
So that's
Right.
pretty cool.
They all say
Yeah.
Dune.
Oh,
Just in
damn.
case.
There's 6 books.
Yeah. Yeah, there's 6 books.
Holy shit!
So
I didn't even know there
gotta
were that
strap
many.
in.
Do you know? So the movie that's coming out, which books is it? Just the first book?
It's half of the first book.
Gotcha. I mean,
Yeah.
Wow.
The first book is like massive. It's like almost, I think it's over 700 pages. So, Moses, what's your weekly obsession?
Oh man, I've been juggling a few things. I guess I want to go with hiking. I went hiking a few times this past week, and I'm trying to really make a point to in quarantine to really just get up and get moving. So
I'm gonna give that a fuck yeah out of 10.
You had to get that close to the microphone to
Yeah.
say that.
oh yeah, the inverse square law. You gotta put it.
want to
in
make
the
sure
yeah,
everyone
there.
heard it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hiking. I've been going. I started timing myself to get to the top of this one trail that Alex actually told me about. And just trying to get more exercise because I'm just on my ass all day working, and it's not great. So yeah, just trying to get out there and feel better about what I do all day.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Have you only been going to that one trail?
just that one.
a
Just
good
only
one.
because
That's a
like
good one.
yeah, it's really nice, and like it's kind of, I wouldn't say, well, I'll just say it's tough like at the beginning just because it's like so steep like of an incline.
Yeah.
But it's not that much of an incline or that long, so it's good. And
The trail, by the way,
I like
by
it.
the way, for anyone who's listening, it's the Ferndale Trail. Ferndale Trail? Ferndale Trail. Ferndale Trail?
Is it?
The one we go. I'm looking at Daryl.
Fern.
Going to my stenographer. Stenographer.
Is it? I mean, like I can.
Fern Trail. It.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the editing.
No, you can leave this in. You can leave me getting this wrong. It's up in past. It's by where the Griffith Observatory is, but it's like the other side.
Yeah.
And like.
Oh,
yeah,
I know
but
that
the cool
trail.
thing, there's like one, like the
Yeah.
big one, it goes up towards the Outlook, and then I think it keeps going up. Like you could go really high. We've always stopped at that Outlook.
Yeah.
But there's that
Same.
same trail we went that weekend too, Moses. If you go, instead of going left and going up, if you go right, it goes to the old LA Zoo that's like ruins now.
Oh,
That's where that
really?
leads to. It's really cool.
Yeah. There's not that much there, but
There's
it's
like a
that's
park
cool
there,
little place
though,
to
now.
hang out.
It's like a really nice little park down. Like if
Yeah.
you get, and it's not hard at all to walk that trail. So like you should check that out.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
If you guys are ever looking for a pretty cool trail, there's one in I want to say Santa Monica or Malibu. I think it's Malibu.
I think
That,
I've done that one.
It like goes up, like winds up the hills, and then you end up at this like crest where you can see like the city and the ocean.
Yes.
Like the city's on one side of the mountain and the ocean is on the other.
That's
It's really
cool.
beautiful.
Yeah, I've done that one. When Farrah and I lived in Santa Monica, we went one day. It was really nice.
That's awesome.
But
Glad you're liking it.
So the name of the Fern Canyon.
Fern Canyon. I don't know. I'm thinking Ferndale.
Yes.
Fern Canyon. Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna consider this a Leatricism too, because usually her weekly obsessions are out of left field. You know, it's just like weird. This is gonna be a really weird one. I got a new pair of shoes, and I'm really happy about this new pair of shoes because most of
Oh, I'm so excited to talk about mine now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so for most of the pandemic, I've been able to get by with basically two pairs of types of footwear, which is either my sandals, which I've done for about 95% of the time, or like,
Oh yeah.
or my Tom's boots. But like, those are kind of ridiculous, and it's like boots. Like, I don't wear boots if I just want to like go walk somewhere, or if I'm doing a walk, or like just normal stuff. It's kind of ridiculous to wear those fucking boots. So I finally reached a point where I'm like, all right, it's been almost a year in pandemic. Maybe it's time I actually get a normal pair of shoes, so I don't have to keep putting on Tom's boots or sandals, because I've almost tripped walking Noki a bunch of times in my sandals and shit. So got some like Adidas, they're kind of like casual but more like workout shoes, and they're like super thin and like nice.
What are they called?
I don't actually know the name.
Are they Ultra Boost? Did you cop some Ultra
Can I see?
Boost?
Yeah.
No, Ultra Boosts are not thin.
Show
No,
us.
that's
show
true.
us. Show
Fat
us.
soles.
It's a
show
black
us.
Adidas shoe.
Oh, those are nice.
Damn, those are
No,
hot.
Yeah.
those
It
are
says
not
bounce.
the Ultra
Maybe it's
Boosts,
bounce.
no.
Bounce.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really light as fuck.
Those
It
are
feels like I'm
nice.
wearing nothing at all. It's great.
But how's the support? How's the cushion?
Good. You see that shit? Let me show
Yeah.
that again. Let me show that again, Moses. Let me show that again. Look at this shit. Look at that shit. Look, this is all support, baby. Right here. That's
Wow.
great.
Is that memory
memory foam there, dude. Look at it.
Tempur-Pedic?
Bounce,
What you got going
bounce.
on there?
You know? It's,
They
it's
look
been great.
really small.
They do. They are pretty small. I think my feet probably look really small. I don't have a big foot. I'm like a 9.5, 10. You know?
Really?
Yeah, I have small feet. bro.
Moses is judging.
I know.
No, I'm not. I'm actually genuinely surprised.
Did you think I had big feet?
No, I just thought you had like, I don't know. I guess
Are
I
guys
assumed your feet were
insecure
as big as
if they
mine.
have small feet?
I don't give a fuck. It's feet. For me, personally.
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
I'm
don't
a size
think
11.
so.
That's a normal size, right?
Is there any normal size?
I have.
Right? Right? That's a normal size, isn't it?
I have 11 as
Oh,
well.
do
Phillip,
you?
So don't worry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But see, I feel like you guys have bigger hands than me. I feel like I have
I
small
have some big
You
hands.
think
I
that correlates?
guess.
No,
I don't know,
think so
bro.
at all.
I only ask because
uh,
I feel like guys have usually insecurities about things, body
Yeah.
parts. So then,
Fair.
like,
I don't care
so
about
do,
feet,
do you
though.
do you
And
think
women do.
No,
Also
women do
true.
too. But I was just wondering, like, if it's a smaller size foot, do guys think?
I don't care.
No, I think most men are insecure about like physical height.
Yes.
Oh, height makes
And,
more sense.
Yeah.
Height's a big thing.
And losing.
I think
hair.
hands
think
hands
those
are
are-
is a much bigger deal than
Yeah.
feet, actually. Like, you see how much people give
Oh.
Yeah.
Donald Trump shit for his small hands? Like, that was a thing.
Yeah.
Well, that's because he had
Yeah.
doll hands.
That was a big fucking deal to a lot of people. But no one said, like, yo, he's got small feet, because no one gives a shit. No one's going to look at your
Because
feet.
he,
Yeah.
well, he also didn't really show his
can't
feet
even
that
see
much.
'em.
Yeah, because he has that weird like
He's a
centaur
centaur.
stance.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. No, I got you. Yeah, so my shoes are great. It's nice to finally put on an actual normal pair of shoes and not be wearing sandals with socks everywhere, because that was definitely the look for my pandemic.
It's very
So
Japanese.
Leatrice, yeah, I'll still probably do it, but it's nice to. I've been excited to put shoes on again. So Leatrice, what is your thing you're excited about?
I have been obsessed with socks.
You should have gone first then, actually, when you think about it. Because it would have led right into the shoe thing.
Okay.
Oh my
Alright.
god.
So like well, it started because snowboarding season was upon us, and then I wanted to get like actual ski socks, but then I bought a couple, and I think because I was looking on Amazon, Instagram read my data or whatever and started sending me ads. And then I bought, well, at first I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to buy these socks. And then they sent me like a discount. I was like, okay, I'll buy these socks. And then I bought $80 worth.
Oh my fucking
God. Oh my
God. How much
God.
is each pair?
Well, I don't know in the end, but I bought 15 pairs. So
One. You bought how many?
15
Oh,
pairs
okay. That's
of
a lot.
socks.
You bought 15 pairs of socks?
But look at
your whole wardrobe
look
now
at-
ski socks.
Look at the design. See? Ooh, they're Nordic.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
That's
I have
pretty adorable.
more,
Wow.
but then these are the only ones I'm wearing right now. But so I gave five of those pairs to my brother. Just kidding about. I don't want people to, like, I didn't buy all 15 pairs of socks. for
That's
myself.
okay. You can
Just-
buy 15 pairs for yourself.
Yeah.
That's totally acceptable.
I
Yeah.
gave five.
Yeah, no
But
judgment.
yes.
And I did the math. They're only like $6 a pair.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah, right at the
Yeah,
end.
that's not
You know
bad.
how they got me though? Like I clicked buy, and then they popped up like this like a really shady kind of, but don't leave yet, and it looked like those old 90s scams, and like if you add another 5 pairs, we'll give
No
it to you
way.
for $20. And I was like, oh man, I know this is a scam, but I'm too committed now.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
They have all your information now. Like,
Yeah.
But wait, there's more.
if you put in your social security number, you can get. They're free.
We'll give you a pair of socks for every year of your retirement.
Yeah.
I actually just, it's funny. I actually just bought a pair of socks that I'm like in love with.
Exactly. Socks are great.
So we just chalk
But
this up. All
feel like-
sessions are about footwear this week.
I feel like the great thing about socks is that they're like, in a way, if you're wearing pants all the time, like they're just for you.
Yeah.
You know, like nobody else is really gonna
Yeah,
see
yeah.
that they're there, but
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
they're there, and that's all that
Exactly.
matters.
Wait, you guys wear pants?
Yeah.
Not right now.
Oh. I literally wore shorts to Total Wine.
Oh, that's what you meant. I
Did
thought
you?
you were
Oh,
trying to make
wow.
like a joke about you being at home pandemic, not wearing clothes.
No, I'm just free hanging right now.
Oh.
That's why we keep this. You know.
No, I'm comfortably in a
Yeah.
pair.
Oh,
of
you wearing
jeans.
jeans right now? Why aren't you
Yeah.
in your casual
Wow.
wear, bro?
Jeans are casual wear.
He means why aren't you in your home casual wear?
Jeans are my home casual wear.
Wow, what do you wear to sleep?
Jeans.
Khaki.
Oh. All right.
Well, on that note, moving on out. Now's the time of the episode where we do our weekly shout-outs. Phillip,
Ew.
why don't you take it away?
So this week we're shouting out Galaxy's Greatest. It's another podcast, and it's a RPG, like tabletop RPG podcast, where you can listen in as a group of people play a game of what's called Starfinder, which is a lot like Dungeons and Dragons, but more of like sci-fi. So think like Lord of the Rings meets Star Wars. Really exciting stuff going on over there, and I'm excited to announce that I actually signed on to season 2 of the show. So if you guys want to listen to me role playing as a hive mind alien space pirate, true story,
Wow.
then go ahead and check out Galaxy's Greatest. So
Have
Wow,
you
so
chosen?
you're moonlighting, huh?
Yeah.
yep, moonlighting.
Wow.
Gotta keep the lights on somehow.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
it's not by podcasting, because podcasting doesn't pay me anything.
Have you picked a name for your hive mind space pirate?
Yeah, it's a
Wow, I
Deef.
can't believe you remembered that.
Deef?
Deef.
Deef. Yeah.
DEF?
Like D''HIV. The full name is like slightly more complicated, and it means like winter child. There's a whole backstory I had to write for it. We're
Oh
going
man,
in
I
depth.
thought it was.
Whoa.
Yeah, when you said it, I thought it was like beef, but with a D. So
I
was
did
like,
too.
Deef.
I was like, all right, Deef.
Yeah,
Deef.
Dave.
Just Dave with an apostrophe.
When he gets to America in the season, then he'll become Dave.
Hey, Dave.
Wow. Wow. Well, if you guys want to hear Phillip on that podcast, you heard it first, and we'll put the link in the show notes. But back to this podcast where Phillip is actively recording. Topic of the week: Wandavision. Initial thoughts. What do you guys think of the show?
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
No.
Elaborate, please.
I was not that thrilled in the beginning because I wasn't sure. And I kind of told people I was a bit cool on it. I was just like, I don't think it's anything you need to tune in for yet because I feel like there's a lot of build up. I'm not sure if the payoff's gonna be worth it. I don't know. And then episodes 3 to 6, I was just like, watch it.
That's funny. A lot of the people I talked to had a similar reaction, I think, of you, where they were kind of going, oh, it's really weird. Like my parents were like, or my dad was like, it's really weird. I don't know. But it's funny because like from episode 1, I was like, I'm in it. Like I immediately had that, like, this is so interesting and so much different than anything they've done. I already like this. And I was like immediately really, really into it. So it's funny that you had the opposite reaction of like, it took you a minute.
Yeah, I think it's because I was too skeptical. I was just thinking, okay, it's great that it's different. It's kind of quirky, but where are they going kind of deal. And then, I think it was just because I was skeptical, not because they weren't doing something really interesting. I really did like the fact that they were going this route versus the blanket Marvel lut that they throw on everything.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, WandaVision was not on my radar at all until the two of you brought it up last week.
Same.
Like, I don't know. I know y'all, Alex uses a PlayStation, but like on the PlayStation, like TV menu, it gives you shows that, you can watch, and you like click it and it'll take you straight into that app. Yeah. And WandaVision has been on there since it started, and I have 100% ignored the icon, like not interested in it at all. I was just like, I don't care. Marvel is just trying to like keep itself relevant, and I didn't really give it a second passing thought. But then you two brought it up, and I was like, okay, I can give it a try. And yeah, like from the first episode, I was really hooked because I think having the recommendation from the two of you saying that it was so good, and then the first episode, really the first like 2 episodes being so kind of not in your face, like really hooked me, because then I was like, these 2 episodes are really laying something, like something's brewing, and like they just put just enough of like a smattering of like weird things happening that kept me hooked, and I ended up watching like 4 episodes straight through.
Like I love
I was actually
sorry I was gonna just really quickly
Alex.
on that point is like that first episode when the dinner thing happens and he starts choking, and like that's what like that moment is like really what got me. I was like, oh, this is gonna be so interesting and weird, and I'm so in it, like, like this is gonna be such a bizarre, like, is dark but also humorous type of show. Sorry, I just wanted to speak on that because that's what got me on that first episode.
I was just gonna say that like you guys, I was kind of like on the fence about it. The first episode, I was like, huh? Like, what's going on? Like, when does this take place? Is this like, obviously that question gets answered in the later episodes, but so it took me a minute to really catch on to what was going on. But I was actually just kind of surprised that the episodes were so short. I thought they were going to be like, hour-long episodes, and when they were so short, and like I just pounded through the whole 6 episodes in like one day. It was great, but it's so it's kind of funny that they like got all those era sitcom looks so good. And it was just like, holy crap. And like I was like, how did they do that? And I actually looked into it, like for the sitcoms for like the 50s and the 60s, they actually got Dick Van Dyke to come in and consult on the show.
No,
That's funny.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I looked into it because I was like, how do they make it so good? And he actually came in and consulted on the show.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that it's doing that really well. And then the whole weirdness of it going on, oh man, at least for me, I think that's what the show's doing so well.
Because I don't feel like, I think from the get-go, I kind of knew what was kind of, I feel like I knew what was happening. I was like, okay, this is obviously some weird thing that she's created, and we're living it, but like, how is this going to connect And I love that by episode 3, you're kind of starting to get that information. By 4, it's like, here's all the information. And you're like, okay, cool. Now I fully know. But like, yeah, it didn't confuse me. Like I was just like, okay, so I'm assuming this is some weird fever dream type of thing, or she's created this reality knowing like Scarlet Witch. But I was like, how and why? Like, I want to know those things more than the style of it, you know?
I'm curious. I wonder why some people have given it like a reluctancy to, you know, jump right into it. You know what I mean? Like, I know for a minute I was like, I don't really care. I mean, I like the Marvel like IP and stuff, but I wasn't super, you know, excited to jump right into it. Like, I wonder, like, what do you guys think is the reason for such reluctancy to jump into it?
I mean, I can really only speak personally, but that really had to do with the fact that it's the first Disney Plus Marvel show, which I was already kind of reluctant to see. You know, after Endgame came out, they then kind of took no time to say, here's a bajillion shows that are going to be on Disney Plus. See you there. You know, and like, I wasn't excited at the prospect of that. And from watching the trailers, like, Wanda and Vision were never my favorite characters from the series. They, like, I never really gave them like too much of a thought in the they played their part within like the MCU, but they definitely weren't like high in my tier of characters that I cared about. Right. So like them getting their own show on top of the fact that I wasn't excited for Disney to be having these shows, just kind of, you know, knocked it down the rungs.
But after having watched a few episodes, it's kind of like, holy shit, she's like the most important person in the universe right now, right?
Yeah,
it's so crazy.
In a way, it's like a proof that Marvel's formula is so refined and works so well. Because I was just talking to another friend about this, about how Harry Potter and Star Wars are kind of suffering from continually making more and more content that's like getting diluted as time goes on. Like, we keep getting more Harry Potter movies and Star Wars movies and content that like just feels less and less like the things that we want. And they co-opted Marvel into that, and I actually disagreed with them. I was like, Marvel's actually getting better as they've made more movies. And True. I think the key difference there is that they have like a huge range of characters and universes to choose from, and the way they've crafted the Marvel Cinematic Universe allows every character to be important and for stories to be told that are wildly different from each other, and that are just connected enough that when movies like Avengers happen, that like they all feel coherent and like can work together, but then split off and go have their own adventures. And like seeing them be able to take Wanda and Vision, who, I mean, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, like, weren't big characters, and to be able to like transplant them in a show that's so wildly different from what we come to expect of superhero movies, like, really just shows that Marvel can create a coherent, like, can continue to create a coherent universe within their like broader rules.
I'll just jump off of what Phillip said. I think that is one of the strengths of Marvel. Superhero movies aren't new. They've been rehashed and rehashed and rehashed. But I think what Marvel is doing very successfully now is that they can take these characters that we probably didn't care about before and somehow give them their moment to shine, or develop them into people we do care about. Like when I first watched the first Captain America, and even in the first Avengers, there wasn't something that special about Steve Rogers. And it was when the Russo brothers came in and they wrote him the way he was in Winter Soldier, where he kind of became the captain, the leader in a way. Like they humanized him. And they did that with Thor too. He had trouble finding his, I think, identity in the Marvel universe, because they wanted him to be in the first one, right? It was Kenneth Branagh. Is he the one who did the first Thor?
Yeah.
So it was a little Shakespearean. It was a little more traditional in the way they wanted to portray him. And then in the second one, they wanted to do something more edgy and dark. But then Chris Hemsworth himself, as an actor, he's great with comedic timing, and he has a very likable personality. So when Ragnarok came out, they turned him into this person who could play both parts. And then you grew to like Thor even more, and then they made him Fat Thor. And it was just a lot of those moments. Yeah, like they gave each of these characters a movie or a TV show to develop into people that we can care about. Wanda and Vision, we didn't really. But when speaking for myself, when I was watching the show, I somehow felt really sad for the ending that the two of them got. And that didn't happen when I was watching the movies. I was just like, oh, this is really sad. But I didn't understand what made them special. But the fact that they decided to give them character through sitcoms and watching them be quirky and very odd together, when the two of them are extremely out of place. Like, they're out of the realm of familiarity for us as viewers, because she's Sarkovian and a mutant, and he's technically just a robot. So it's hard to
they
get
actually
those
haven't
two
even
characters.
said mutant yet.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's actually
in the whole
Yeah.
in the whole MCU, they've never said mutant yet.
They
They
have
said
not
I think
said mutant.
I think for legal reasons they couldn't use mutant, but I think the term they used was miracle, right?
Yeah, no, they
something
called
like that.
them what was they called them enhanced in Age of Ultron. We have an enhanced on the field or something like that. But yeah, it was just because they kind of gave them this moment to become people you do recognize, like character traits and tropes that make them feel a little bit more human towards us, that I think worked really well for me. But yeah, I was suffering from superhero fatigue. I didn't really give it another go. I wasn't excited, but because it was so short and tight, I was like, I'm gonna keep watching it. And I just every single week, like, oh, I want another one.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I was just
Alex, you
going
gonna
to
say?
speak about the reluctancy thing. I think it's because, one, probably people have thought we were done in some way. Like, probably Endgame comes around, they're kind of like, okay, I'm kind of over it. Like, we've had all these years with things, like, kind of speaking on what Phillip was saying a little bit, I know Leatrice has said in the past, but like this idea of like, okay, now they're just trying to milk this cow as much as they can. So I think there was a little bit of that. I think it's a little bit of what Phillip said, but I also think it's just a little bit of like, some shows in the past, especially superhero shows, kind of don't always hit the mark that well, you know? Like, I mean, it's worked for like Daredevil was pretty good. Jessica Jones.
I'd go as far to say Daredevil was great.
Yeah, I think so
Oh, yeah.
too. I think like season 1, season 2 is great. I think like Jessica Jones is pretty interesting. I think Luke Cage isn't too bad. But then they started to kind of hit their misses, right? Because then there was like, what's his name? Iron Fist, which was terrible.
That was terrible.
Defenders was rough.
Yeah, Defenders was kind of rough. So
Yeah.
then I think
the first season of Punisher though.
yeah, I actually haven't got a chance to really watch that yet, which I definitely need to. But
Season 1's great.
yeah,
Season 1 is great.
but I think it's just that. I think it's this idea that we were like sort of seeing like maybe this isn't going to work, and some superhero shows haven't really worked in the past, and I think people were fearful that, okay, are they now missing so much that maybe this isn't going to work? And I think, you know, I know that's at least what I was thinking. I was kind of like, I mean, how good can this be? And kind of a mixture of the different thoughts. Like, do I really care about Wanda? Do I really care about Vision? Am I kind of over this by now? I'm kind of done with the Marvel machine. And then also, like, do I really care about a show format? But I think there's something that they've done really interesting here, and that just makes sense and works. And in some ways, I think like the length of each episode is actually perfect, because you think about it in like a comic book sense, where like each comic or like each issue is not very long, and I kind of like this short format. Like, I don't need a lot. Like, they're giving just enough each episode that like you get a little bit more story, but you're not like fatigued from each episode. You're just kind of like just enough where like, okay, good, move on. You know, like I don't need to be here for a movie length of each episode, you know.
Couldn't
they've been
agree more.
effective.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I think in a lot of ways, like episodic TV is like the culmination of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like going from comic books to movies, like that transition makes sense because it gives us these long stints to get to know our characters and get to like exist with our characters. But then like the nature of comic books is so ripe for episodic TV because they like mirror each other in their like serialness, you know, of like just
Right.
giving us these like pieces. And I don't think that at the time when the MCU started, like filmmaking technology and like CG was at a point where it was like cheap enough or even feasible to make good superhero shows.
Yeah.
And so you get shows like Arrow and like Punisher and like Daredevil,
Yeah.
which like are good in their own rights, but like they didn't have the budget behind them to do these like crazy effects. So a show like Daredevil is perfect for a TV show because he doesn't really have any superpowers other than that he's blind and can hear.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like there is
Yeah.
no CG that needs to happen there. It's very minimal. It's stuff that you can do on a like TV production scale. But now having like a mega, like the megadon of movies, of like movie production studios and Disney, having just like being able to dump funds into these shows, I think we're finally at a point where like, you know, TV shows can be like go toe to toe with like the quality of movies.
Do you know how much money they've dumped into each episode?
It's like
I don't even
10
want to.
No,
million?
do tell, do tell.
Is it more than 10 million?
Oh, I'm taking guesses. Alex, 10 million.
It's
Leatrice?
probably more.
No, 10 million was like an episode of Game of Thrones. This one, maybe.
To be honest, though,
5.
I would say though, it may not seem like it because it's like Game of Thrones is these massive shows, right? But like, think about the special effects of each of these shows. That's where I think where this money's going. I think this is the first comic book show that feels just as good as the movies. Like, I'm like, damn. I'm like, and maybe that's why I like it so much. I'm like, they nailed it. Like, they just nailed it. Like, everything looks good. It feels good. It almost feels like the same part of the same machine. Whereas like Daredevil, Luke Cage, all those, you do feel that kind of television-y
Right.
lack
Yeah,
of quality. But I think like this one is like, I'm like, this feels like it's part of the same budget they get.
That's kind of interesting. I didn't feel that way about Daredevil. I thought Daredevil was great, like in terms
is
of
great,
like
yeah.
production. Yeah.
No, yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Daredevil like looked great, but like it's still at moments, especially when you get into the action sequences, it feels like a TV action
Yeah,
series.
exactly.
Yeah, except for those
Where, like-
long takes
Those
of
were-
Yeah,
action.
that was
Yeah.
pretty
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
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 Oh, that hallway wonder is like one of my favorite
Oh, yeah.
moments in
Fucking
like any superhero
Yeah.
thing
Old
ever.
Inspired
boy.
by Old Boy.
Yeah, old boy reference.
Well,
Yeah.
Hey. Well, to give you the answer, they spent 25 million each
Okay.
episode.
Holy
20.
shit!
I don't. Yeah, I buy it.
Yeah.
I buy it,
25 million each episode.
Wow,
dude.
that's
And
crazy.
a lot of it went to, because I actually looked into it. It went into
The
so
actors.
Alex. Well, no, I mean it's a big part of it, yes, but the other big part of it was because it's so many different eras of sitcoms. They actually went to make it as accurate as possible. So they went
That's
back to
impressive.
get like actual lenses that they used.
Oh
back
wow.
then.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you know,
man.
and they actually went back to
Did they
using
shoot on
tungsten
film
lights.
too?
They probably shot on film.
Really? That part I'm
Yeah.
actually surprised about. I feel like it looks very digital.
I feel like the
Maybe.
first 2 episodes like nail the look
Yeah.
of a 1950s and 60s.
Or at least
Thanks,
I
Dick
think
Van
by the
Dyke.
90s, the 90s is the one that I feel like aged or like didn't look quite on it. They like nailed the camera movements and like the angles and everything, but I felt it looked like just a little too clean to be a 90s
The
TV.
the 90s
Yeah.
one is the episode 6, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think even
And I
80s
think
at some
that
point,
points too.
was like the 90s one, like I think that it started to feel less like the sitcom
Yeah.
ish because it was catching up, right?
Yeah.
And then we had
Right.
that moment when he broke the barrier.
Exactly.
It's interesting too that like I think this whole approach of, you know, each episode is like a type of sitcom that's like modernizing us was like a genius approach to take for this transition of Marvel movies into TV, because I think that if they had gone directly into TV shows that looked like, the truth is like TV shows are never going to look as good as movies, like for now.
Yeah.
Like right now it's just like it's still not quite there. Even shows like The Mandalorian like they're like almost there, but they're not quite there yet.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that if they had just gone straight into a series like, you know, Falcon and Winter Soldier, that is going to look like a Marvel movie, there would have been that kind of like disjunct. But doing a show like WandaVision first, and that huge disjunct between where Marvel movies look and then like where the 1950s TV looks, and then slowly stepping you up so that by episode 3, when you go to like, you know, you get that that classic cinematic look. Yeah, but like when they go outside of the barrier for the first time, it like immediately you're like, oh, I'm back to watching a Marvel movie. Because
that's
the
a very good
whiplash
point.
is so much further.
It says that as far as IMDb goes, by the way, so I was on my computer, is that it's saying that they shot an Area Alexa LF. They don't mention anything else. They don't say they shot a film, and usually they would say if they did. So I mean, maybe they're just hiding it. But I had a feeling they were shooting on just digital the entire time, because especially in those breaking of the barrier moments, like when he's choking and they're having that like weird, it like shifts the style.
That like depth of field and the closeness. I don't think a film would have held up in that kind of clarity. It just felt like a digital clarity. To it.
Well, but that was also like a moment that clearly wasn't within the confines of
a
the
50s.
sitcom.
Yeah, true.
But knowing the Marvel,
I never got that like.
Yeah, I would say, but knowing the Marvel machine, like it makes sense that they would just get the best camera and then have their crazy team of visual effects artists go, here, fucking turn it into a 50s show for me, and they probably could. I mean, they've done crazier things, you know.
They like push their glasses up and like, I can
just press one button and it just immediately does it, you know.
Start smacking the keyboard, and then, you know, 3 visual effects studios go under.
That'll be 1 million per second. Do you guys know which shows they modeled each era after?
Well, 90s for sure was
Bewitched,
Malcolm in the Middle,
right?
50s
was
Malcolm
Bewitched
in the Middle for sure. 50s was Leave It to Beaver. And
80s is Full House, I'm assuming.
60s, I think was Bewitched. Yeah.
Oh, 60s is Bewitched. Okay.
70s was Brady Bunch and
Partridge
Family. I think.
That makes sense.
80s was, I think,
Full House,
like Full House or Step by. Or,
even the twins thing.
Charles in Charge.
The twins thing is like an Olsen twins reference, which is really funny when you think about it, because she's Olsen.
It is.
Oh,
she's
meta.
Oh, she's an Olsen.
Wait, she's not an Olsen twin.
But she's
not
an
a
Olsen.
twin, but she's
but she's
a
an
sister.
Olsen.
Yeah, she's an Olsen.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the last one is definitely Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah. I took a second because I was like watching it. I was like, "What show is this?" And then I was like, "Oh, Malcolm in the Middle." Okay. When he starts talking to the camera, I was like, "Oh yeah."
Can we appreciate what a meta mindfuck the recasting of
yes.
Of
Pietro
Pietro
was?
one? Dude,
Oh my God,
so
yeah.
I love that
good.
they
So
referenced
good.
it too. She's like, he got recasted. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
That was the
and
part
they
that
they
made me
casted
go,
the guy who plays Quicksilver in
the old
Well,
Fox X-Men.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
did you catch it that like in the Halloween episode where he's there with the kids and they're like kick ass and then she goes kick ass.
Yeah.
So Kick Ass was a movie where this
Right.
Pietro and the old Pietro starred together in the film. There's so many
Yeah.
little cool Easter eggs.
Wait,
that
are they
happen
both
the show.
in? Are they both in Kick Ass?
Yes, they are.
Damn,
shit, I didn't even know that.
down.
Yes, they are.
Dude.
So Pietro getting recasted.
And like crossing
What the fuck,
over
right?
with the X-Men universe
Yeah.
brings me to
yeah.
a theory, right? Yeah, I mean, how
Bring
many?
it.
So I only really know about it because I talked to my little brother about it, and he was telling me he read the comics, and this is supposed to be a lead into the House of M, right? And we were talking about how in Marvel right now the word mutant has never been used, and I think that a lot of people are thinking this is the way mutants are going to be brought in. Now that Fox has been bought by Disney, they have the rights to start X-Men. And the idea is that in creating this, she was talking about how she was, in the last episode, Captain Rambo's DNA and her structure.
changed.
It was starting to change.
Yeah.
And the fact that the kids actually now have powers, it makes me wonder if kids in this universe or in that world that she's created for Westview, the longer that they stay in there, the more susceptible they are to actually becoming mutants. In the same way that she's probably restructuring Rambo's DNA. And if she gets sucked in there one more time, she could also become one too. And she's
She's
going
gonna
to
get
introduce,
powers.
yeah, she's going to introduce like an entire new generation of superheroes, possibly.
Huh.
But
So-
in the House
so
of
I
M,
think-
that's how she did it.
Huh.
I think similarly, but I think her little hex is just gonna go crazy and then like span the entire planet, and I think that's how Fantastic Four gets involved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they talked
so
about an
remember when-
astrophysicist, right? Or astro
Yes.
something.
So
Yes.
yeah. So
Reed.
and crazy enough, if you look at the board in the back, the whiteboard in the back, when she actually says that, there's a 4 drawn on it. Did anyone else catch
I
that?
didn't catch
No.
that. Wow.
Yeah,
holy
there's
shit.
a 4 drawn on the back of like this mathematical equation that's on this whiteboard, where Rambo says like, "I know an astrophysicist who's up for the challenge."
Oh,
so I feel like she's
Shit.
referencing Reed Richards, but I
Yeah.
feel like I think the hex is gonna go crazy, and then or maybe he will come in and like go inside, or that team will go into the hex, because I feel like that's how Fantastic Four is gonna get in the mix. I don't
That'd
know
be
about
pretty insane
Yeah.
for them to introduce like new superheroes in this show, which
Yeah.
like I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I think it's like absolutely possible and like totally a
Mm-hmm.
move that
Yeah.
Marvel would make, but like it will also blow my mind if they do.
Well,
that.
all right.
But see, I think the crazy thing is like the whole Quicksilver thing. I'm like, well, he's obviously not the one from that universe, but he's from a different one. So maybe the hex going crazy merges realities, and
And
maybe that's the Quicksilver from that reality coming into this one. So maybe her Quicksilver is still dead in a way.
Yeah.
No, her
but
Quicksilver
things
is
get
still
merged.
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely
well,
still
because
dead.
there's also a lot of talk that Marvel is going to be introducing the multiverse
Right.
with Doctor Strange, and then we also know that
And the
Tobey
new
Maguire and
Spider-Man,
it's
Mhm.
like the Spider-Verse thing is going to be happening, which means that like this could be, maybe they're not going to like say it explicitly within this series, but this is going to start to,
Beg the question.
prepare
yeah.
us for that to happen.
And one
And it just
funny
feels so exciting. I really
Yeah.
didn't expect to be this excited by superhero stuff again.
yeah.
And I was just thinking, this is insane, because I mean, this is the third time that Fantastic Four will be rebooted, and in the same
Right.
way, like Spider-Man has been rebooted 3 times, and I'm just like, oh, I
At
just
least-
got super excited, like, whoa!
If anyone can do it right, it's probably Marvel, to be honest, at this point.
Right now, yeah.
The thing I was going to
I
say
have
is
a lot
I
of faith
saw
in Kevin Feige.
a random article, just to make sure. So, Mr. Fantastic is supposed to be John Krasinski in the next version, right?
Well, they don't know.
Is that confirmed?
It's not confirmed.
There's been like rumors.
Well,
about
yeah.
it.
I saw a weird rumor that says that they might do. It depends on how much more they keep going with this episodic thing where they change styles. But I saw they might do an Office themed
Oh my god.
episode. And this is just a rumor I saw, like an article. So if they do that, and John Krasinski is Mr. Fantastic, and he's
Holy
Jim,
shit.
and he comes in as Jim.
Wait, that's gonna if that is true, that's gonna be the next episode.
Yeah, that should be
because the next
this
episode is
Friday.
the mid 2000s,
Yeah.
The Office.
If Mr. Fantastic
Oh,
shows up
shit.
as Jim from The Office, then we now know that it was a weird theory. 'Cause I heard it was like
man,
they were
by the
thinking
time people
about it.
listen to this, by the time people listen to this, we'll know.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
could,
Yeah.
it could have just been a total rumor. They were thinking about it and they didn't do it. But I think it has to do
That would
with
have been
John
too
Krasinski being Mr. Fantastic. So I think he is going to be Mr. Fantastic. I think it's going to be John Krasinski, but I don't know if they're going to do an Office themed one. That might just be.
What? Yeah. I mean, if that were to follow, then it would only make sense that he's already in the hex.
Maybe.
And as she keeps changing it, he's gonna get shifted into Mr. Fantastic in the next episode or whatever.
That'd be so
Agnes
funny.
is also supposed to be, I think, a character in the comics. That's why she's not marked yet. They couldn't figure out who she was. The idea, because I also think that Scarlet Witch, of course, in the comics is actually way more violent than the one that we've seen. She
Yeah.
kills a lot of people. And then apparently, I think it's Agnes. That's also why she's supposed to be a witch that kind of trains Wanda. And in the last episode, in the Halloween episode, she was dressed as a witch. And the idea, so she's supposed to be that person, and that's why we keep seeing her come back. And
Gotcha.
I think that they're placing so many like Easter eggs all throughout. But if honestly, if it is The Office, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm just gonna,
Well, you gotta wait literally 2 days, right? Like it's Friday.
Yeah.
dude, can do.
Does it come
Not
out,
even
like-
2 days. It comes out at 12 a.m. tomorrow night.
If there's an Office
So-
themed episode,
Holy shit. That'd be crazy.
With the
so fun.
theme song and everything, oh my god.
I
I can't think of another show that's like was more influential in the mid 2000s as a sitcom.
Parks and
Yeah, you're
Rec,
right, I don't know.
maybe.
But Parks and Rec was
Is-
derivative of The Office.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think just that style, that docu.
Yeah,
Mockumentary
sitcom
kind of
style.
thing, yeah.
yeah. I'm just trying to think if there's any other
Mocu
ones.
series. Mhm.
Mocu-series became
Wow.
a big deal, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
maybe Modern Family,
Yeah, but not. I think
Oh.
people.
Yeah, but
That's a good one.
still kind of a weird like.
But it's both
mocu-series.
docuseries.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just. I
So-
think that.
But see, that's interesting because all of these shows that she's referenced in her little hex, they're all family sitcoms. So
Oh yeah.
Could be Modern
You see,
Family.
this is
maybe
this
modern,
is this
maybe
is the
Modern
thing.
Family isn't that far off.
Yeah.
Well, but like you can. The thing is that Modern Family and The Office are so similar in style, like visually style, like
true.
visual style.
True.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of
Mix
probably
them.
like parody both because Vision also goes to The
Yeah, I was
Office.
gonna say that could be where they tie it in.
Oh my god.
That's
It's
crazy.
Vision's at his office, but then somehow John Krasinski just like walks in, and then it's like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
Meta.
when in the 90s episode opening sequence titles where Vision is a little kid, oh my god, I was laughing so
Oh
hard.
shit, that
no,
was
80s,
so
80s, right?
good.
It's the
80s,
80s.
Yeah,
It was like
80s
a
version.
painted version of him.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
so
yeah.
Painting,
The
painting
paintbrush?
opening
So
sequence.
good.
Oh my god, I
So
was
good.
laughing so hard to see Vision as a baby.
yeah, all in red still. Oh,
Yeah, it has a really good sense of humor for sure.
yeah, it
Oh
does.
yeah.
It does.
But
it does.
you know, like
Hmm?
aside from like the concept and design and style that they've chosen to go with, it actually makes me relate to Vision and like when
Yeah.
this was the first time we actually show him exhibit any type of emotion. And I still that's the thing that still gets me because I don't know what Wanda has done. Right? She
Yeah.
obviously can't bring back the dead. She didn't bring back the original Pietro. Not because of money reasons, probably, but also because I think Vision is just a machine. She can reconstruct him in a way that she can't reconstruct a human being. And
Yeah.
then in doing that to him, we get like a side of Vision and a side of Wanda that you just could never see in the movies because they were always side characters in the biggest films.
Yeah.
They never really had their own like moment to shine. And now
Yeah.
that they do, they've like stolen the show because they've just given them such a unique and fun concept to play with.
Yeah, true. I mean, you get a little bit of them towards the end of Infinity War, I guess.
Yeah,
When-
but
when
relying on
Vision
the
does
fact that they
die.
were going to die, it's just like it's the
Yeah.
kind of it's the kind of clutch that you need that you use to get people to care about your characters, which is impending
Yeah.
death. Like that
Yeah.
that's an easy out, but now it's more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching Infinity War. The whole relationship between Wanda and Vision kind of to me felt like it came out of nowhere or like it was there in earlier movies, but it was like so relegated to the sidelines that in Infinity War when it was like suddenly like front and center, I was not invested at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're clearly just doing this to make us feel sorry when Vision inevitably dies. And then like now I feel so much more invested in the relationship that was there.
Yeah.
You just feel bad for them.
Yeah. I would say this is why I love how they're doing all these separate shows, because when you have so many stars and so many different people in a huge movie like that, you're left with these kind of impressions of certain characters, because like really most of the Marvel movies up to this point have been like the Captain America show or the Iron Man show or like the main Avengers. So now that we're getting a chance to really expand that and kind of go, okay, well, you know what, like these other characters are actually very interesting and you could find more to care about them, but because you're in this massive movie, you don't really get a chance to really spend time with them. It's now giving us that time to fully appreciate them and maybe even enjoy them more. Like, again, I think I enjoyed this more.
I enjoy them way more.
Than I maybe almost any... This might be one of my most... Probably one of my favorite Marvel things, if not at the almost the very top. Like, I can't think of many other things. Like, Infinity War, Winter Soldier, Ragnarok, maybe...
Yeah.
Maybe Black Panther.
But this one...
Yeah, there's something really interesting about this one.
Yeah. And it was really the first time where I think like what Phillip was saying when they just like pushed them together and they were suddenly a couple. I was like, where did this come from? At what point did I sign on to this? I didn't see that. But then and when he was dying and he was like sacrificing his life, like at the end he's like, Wanda, you're the only one who can do it. I was like, man, this is sad. Oh, this sucks. I mean, good acting for the two of you, like, manifesting this out of nowhere. But then in the last episode, when Vision broke the barrier and came out of the hex and was like slowly being chipped away, that felt way more painful than when she first broke him the first time, or when Thanos like took the Mind Stone out of his head. And it just had to do with like the setup for him, the fact that he wasn't actually an accomplice to her fake reality, right? He was Vision, and then he was like, something is wrong here. I want to find out what that is. And when he gets out there, he's trying to fix it.
Well, quickly to think about the relationship too, right? Vision is made from Ultron, so like, and she was on Ultron's side, so like the relationship was there in some way, but it's like he turned into something that she actually could love and was more human, I think. So it wasn't totally random necessarily, but I think they did just drop it on us more heavily.
The romantic aspect of their relationship felt more like dropped on us. Like they had some sort of interest in each other, but then they went from some sort of interest in each other, then her shooting him into the ground in Civil War and having that huge fight at the airport, to living with him every so often. I was just like, what?
I think it's just...
To be honest, I was more invested in the fact that Captain America had grown a beard in that scene than I was the fact that Wanda and Vision were like a unit.
Yeah. No, for sure. Again, it goes back to...
I was like, holy shit, he has a beard.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that goes back to just us caring more about Captain America in general, because it was the Captain America show, you know?
Yeah. And they also did a good job at making his show, because I wouldn't have ever gone behind it after the first Avenger. When they did the first Captain America, I was like, yeah, he's all right. But then they somehow made me care.
Yeah.
And this one too. Now I care, because I'm going to be really sad. I know she's going to have to give up Vision again.
I know.
And give up probably way more.
Yeah, I think so too.
But maybe gain 4 fantastic friends along the way.
Or some excellent team members.
Oh my god. That was
really
actually really good. I actually like that one.
Really quick, you bring up Ultron. So headed into Phase 4, who do you think is going to be the main villain? Moving on.
Oh, that's a good question.
Really big...
So there's Thanos, right? He was the big villain.
brain guy.
King the Conqueror?
Sure. I don't know.
I don't know their names.
I don't know jack shit about Marvel lore. Are you kidding me? All my Marvel lore comes from the movies.
I'm gonna say the main villain's gonna be Doctor Doom.
The Celestials? Was that in the last Spider-Man?
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
I think they mentioned him.
Probably Celestials. Or there's Galactus. I think is what you're talking about.
Or Galactus,
Phillip, big brain guy.
Yeah.
It's like an absurdly big brain, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But like a small face.
Yes, small face, big brain.
No, that's Brainiac from DC.
No, there's also Brainiac.
Yeah.
Well,
Galactus makes sense, because I think they're starting to branch out into like the galaxies and the universe kind of aspect.
Because Thor is
Marvel.
still with the Guardians.
The Guardians.
Yeah.
But I think they did it technically in the last X-Men, but maybe they're trying to reboot it and bring him back. Galactus. I think Galactus
they're gonna wipe out all
Oscar
the
Isaac
X-Men.
was. Yeah,
Yeah.
No, that's Apocalypse.
Was that Apocalypse?
That's
Oh, then
that
maybe
movie
it's
was
Black.
trash.
Yeah, that movie was not great.
That was
I haven't
horrible.
seen it.
You know, the only movie that I can think of that was worse than
Hmm.
that, Episode 9 of Star Wars.
The go-to de facto worst movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy, the easy one.
All right, well, the next episode of WandaVision comes out in about I don't know, 30 hours. So we'll see. We'll see where our predictions take us. So on that note, let's wrap it up. Let's call it a night. And want to thank everyone for listening to this episode of One for Safety. Again, thanks for spending your Wednesdays with us. And as always, like, follow, and subscribe. Of course, always join us in the discussions on the Discord. You can listen to every episode of One for Safety and Another for Focus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other major podcast platforms. Follow us on the Instagram. Slide us some DMs, man. Let us know what you guys want to hear us talk about next. We already got some topic suggestions in the Discord, so don't be afraid. Slide in there. And yeah, once again, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
See ya.
And beer update. This is like sitting pretty good, guys.
At room temperature?
This is hefty. I felt. No, it's still cold.
Still cold. Okay.
Still
No.
cold.
This is some good after.
Yeah, I wanted to leave that as an after banter. I was gonna see if I can sneak it in there.
No, I liked it. Okay.